Hi guys, in this video we will learn about Labview. So Labview is a programming language which can be used for developing automated products and controlling industrial equipments, monitoring industrial equipments. It can be used to automate some process just like other programming languages, just like C, C++ and all. But the main difference between C, C++, and other programming languages for LabVIEW is that C, C++, and other programming languages are text based, but LabVIEW is a graphical programming language, which makes it interesting to learn. So, a piece of code in C programming language is called a C code, but in LabVIEW programming language, a code is called as a VI, which stands for virtual instrument. So why the name virtual instrument? Because LabVIEW can perform the operation and can appear just like a physical instrument, such as a DMM and an oscilloscope. So they are named as a virtual instrument. So LabVIEW codes are termed as a VI, and all the codes are saved as .vi. The full form of LabVIEW is Laboratory Virtual Instrument Engineering Workbench, which is developed by National Instruments. Now we will see the LabVIEW interface and we will start coding. So when you open LabVIEW, this window appears through which you can create new project or new VI. To create a new VI, go to File and press New VI. You can press the shortcut Ctrl N. You will get these two new windows as you create the new VI. These two are one of them is called the front panel and the other one is called the block diagram. These two are the two main components of the LabVIEW VI. One of them, this window is called the front panel, and this window is called the block diagram. The front panel is where all the user interaction happens. You can provide input, take output. All the user interaction is done in the front panel. So block diagram is the place where you write the graphical code. In the front panel you will provide your input. That input will go to the block diagram. It will process and produces a result. That result will go back to the front panel and you can see the output. This is the basic operation which happens between these two windows. Press Ctrl T to get these two windows into full screen. So if you want to place some inputs and outputs in the front panel, you have to right click. So when you right click, a controls palette appears in the screen. So there are two types of palettes in LabVIEW. This is the controls palette where you will find the inputs and outputs. Another is the functions palette, which you will get in the block diagram, where you can this palette you can use to create codes. But in the front panel you will get this controls palette where you can place some inputs and outputs. So there are many categories in the controls palette, like the numeric, boolean. Based on the data type there are many classifications. So I'll just place a numeric control. So in LabVIEW the inputs are termed as controls and the outputs are termed as indicators. So whenever I create a control or an indicator in the front panel, you can see a respective node is created on the block diagram. So these nodes can be used to create the code. So I will create. So this is how you can place components in your front panel and create an user interface. So there are many things that you can place in your front panel, like this graph, this chart, and different items which you can place in your front panel. You can even create your custom type of user interface whichever you want in the front panel. So the respective nodes are found in the block diagram through which you can code. So this is about the controls palette in the front panel. We will talk more about it in the further videos. In the block diagram, we will find the functions palette using which you can code. So there are many items here like a numeric, like you will get AND operation, subtract operation, many you can get many functions here: boolean operations, string operations, comparison operation, timing operation, file operations. There are many operations through which you can create your code. So now let's create a simple code to add two numbers through which we will understand how Labview coding works. In C you might have written few lines to create the code of adding two numbers, but you can see how easy it is to create a Labview code to add two numbers. You just need to create a control which is an input basically. So here if you go to numeric and numeric control, this will give you an input. Here control means input and indicator means output. So I will take another control, and I can rename this control to anything I want. I will rename to A, and you can see it, this has been renamed to A, and I will rename this to B, which is my second variable, and I will also create an output. I will take the numeric indicator now. This is my output. So I have got the respective nodes of my variable here. So this is just the user interface, and I have got the respective nodes here. So I will go to the functions palette. I will go to the numeric section here. In the numeric section I will choose add, and I will call it here, and you can see it, see here I have, if I go near this place I will get a wire kind of thing. So you can click it here and place it here. If I wire all of them, my add function is over. We have successfully created a code to add two numbers. Now to run this code I would have to press this run. So before that I will provide some values here, 5 and 4. So I will run this code using this run button. You can press anywhere, even you can press this in the block diagram or in the front panel. I will press run, so you can see I'll get 9. So now we have to understand how this actually working. So in C the code will run sequentially from top to bottom, but in Labview the code will run from left to right. So to see this, you have this highlight execution option, which shows you how actually the code is running. So I will enable this, and I will just set this to 5. Now if I press run, you should observe this block diagram. So if you see here, 5 is coming here, 5 is coming here, and we got 10 here. So it is executing through left to right. So I'll just stop this execution. To understand the concept, I'll just remove this wire, and I'll add a subtract function, or some functions for that matter. I'll add subtract, and I'll give the output of this addition to this one, and I'll call another control. Let's make this C, and I'll wire this to here, and we will wire the output of the subtract function to the output. So now you should see the, now I'll make this highlight execution and I'll run this. You should see this. I said the execution will happen from left to right. So the subtract function will not work until it gets a result from this addition function. So after it processes this a and b, means after it gets a result from the a and b, then only the subtract function will work and it will provide the output. You can see this when I press the run, this subtract function will be, you can see here the 10 we get, and now we got the output. So that's it for this video. We'll continue our talk on Labview in the further videos. Please like, share and subscribe.